Hi, this is the second video about the assessment for planned market research and/or managed market research. So, in the first assignment, you wrote a research proposal that outlined the research that you planned to do for a business or organization. Now you need to actually conduct the research and write a report about that. So, you'll focus on the same organization as you did for your first assignment. And you need to include a title page. Now, research reports normally cost a lot of money, and although you do it for free this time around, try and make it look like $1 million. Try and make it look really good with a neat title page. You need a table of contents, an introduction. You had an introduction for your research proposal, which can potentially largely be used here, but maybe you need to update it a bit. Company background, you had that from in your first assignment, and you can basically include that information here as well. Research problems and objectives, same thing. You did that for your first assignment, so include that here again. Research methodology. Again, you did that for your first assignment, so you could potentially include that information here again, potentially updated based on the feedback that you got. Now you move into the qualitative research. Use this as a heading in your assignment, as with all the other headings here, and make sure you explain what you did for your qualitative or exploratory research. It is normally the first type of research that is used in research project, and it could potentially include the following research techniques. You should be using social media research if possible, and secondary research if possible. You may also include things like in-depth interviews, focus groups, and observations, but do not proceed with these things before you have received approval from your lecturer. Students, um, yeah, in this section, you basically need to have a number of subheadings. First, you would want to explain what qualitative research is, followed by a subheading potentially called social media research, where you explain what it is, why you used it, and what you found. Throughout this report, use appendices a lot. Make sure the data you collect, you would normally want to include in appendices, and here in the main body of the report, you want to provide an explanation of what you found from your social media research, your secondary research, etc. You also need to develop, when you have conducted your secondary or your qualitative research, you need to develop a hypothesis at the end of your qualitative research section. A hypothesis is basically an overall statement of the things you learned from your qualitative research methods. So based on your qualitative research method, what did customers think about the business and the products or services that it provides to the marketplace? You can now develop a hypothesis that you believe that something could be improved. Then you can move into the quantitative research, which is your surveys. And here you want to explore further the hypothesis you just developed. You probably found some areas where you believed the organization could improve. That's your hypothesis, and you now want to test that hypothesis through surveys. That is quantitative research. So include a heading in your report called quantitative research. Explain what it is. Explain your quantitative research methods. Your method of sampling, and present your results. and make sure you do all the things that I explained here. The next section is your recommendations. Here you should have explain basically what the business needs to do based on the research findings that you gathered. So recommendation one, give it some sort of title, improve the website or whatever it might be that you found customers complained about or suggested should be done, and back it up with evidence. Your recommendations is really the most important part of your report. This is what a reader of a report would normally read the first. A business manager, for example, would want to know what they can improve in regards to their offerings, whatever that might be. You need to make sure that your recommendations are not just statements, that they are well founded, that you very clearly explain that this needs to be done because in the social media comments we found this or that, and in the survey we found this and that. So refer back to the evidence as part of your recommendations. Do not make statements, make arguments. And you make arguments by referring back to the evidence you have collected above through your quantitative research, so surveys, and through your qualitative research, whatever methods you use there. It's almost like if you want to take out a mortgage and you arrange the meeting in a bank to take out a mortgage, you will go into that meeting. If you simply walk in there and state that they should issue a mortgage, chances are you will not get it. If you come in there well prepared and bring evidence like your credit history, evidence that you paid back previous loans, income statements, then you would be much more likely to get the mortgage or the house loan that you are applying for. So it is the same thing with your recommendations. Don't just make a statement that a bank should give you a house loan or a business should do a certain thing. You need to back it up with something. And you have collected a lot of data above that can back up your recommendations here. You also need to have a section where you discuss limitations in future research. And there are always limitations in market research. It could always have been done better. You could always have collected more surveys. So think about what some of your limitations are. And then based on these limitations, outline additional research that would be desirable to be undertaken by external consultants. In this section, you need to identify a specific professional research organization that could undertake additional research and procedures for engagement of consultants. So you need to do exactly what it says here in your assignment. You need to write a conclusion and potentially include some appendices, including your survey. And that's basically your research report.